Leaders of Tomorrow, India's only daily television platform for small businesses. We bring you the right information to empower you, the SME entrepreneur. Tonight on the show, to the influencer conversations. First up, Petoo. And on the other side of a short break, we'll be in conversation with naturals. One industry that's been completely disrupted by technology is the food industry. And tonight, our first the influencer conversation is with Petoo, a Bengaluru-based chefless restaurant business, to understand what they're doing when it comes to the intersection of food and technology. Is this company? Do take a listen to understand how this market is changing and how they're building a USP for themselves. Setu, appreciate your time with us here tonight on the Leaders of Tomorrow. My first question to you is about the brand Petoo. Just run us through what you do, run us through what you want our viewers to know about the company and the brand.
See, we started Petoo in 2015. It has been 3.5 years since we started. The journey has been tremendous. Like we have gone through the phases of excitement, fear, depression, loneliness, and then again excitement again. And I think it's no different from a typical entrepreneur's journey, right? They go through all these phases in different phases of their life, and we have been through those phases as well. When we started as a delivery-only model, where we had just dark stores through which we used to deliver food to consumers in Bangalore. But soon we realized that the delivery-only dark store model had its own disadvantages. Like it has advantages that the capex was low, it was very light on the capex side, but it was very heavy on the marketing, branding cost side, right? My unit economics never worked for us. So we had to shut down those model very early on, and we realized very early on that we cannot continue this model. And since then, it has been like almost 2.5, 3 years since we closed on this model, started innovating on the lots of other stuffs. And it has been rewarding for us in a way that all three of us, like Ritesh, Abhishek, and me, none of us are from a restaurant industry background, none of us are restaurateurs, right? And that forced us to think through the basics, to understand that what is wrong in the system, how can we build a massive Indian brand which can not just penetrate the metros of India, even not the non-metros of India. And that has been our core understanding of the market, and that's how we have been building solutions. And it took us 2.5 years. It's not a small time, right? We have to go back to our basics, go back to the drawing board, figure out how we can build something which can penetrate or run across different geographies of India. And luckily for us, because we're not carrying any baggage as such of the industry, or we didn't have any preconceived notion that this is how the industry should work, we built lots of innovative solutions on the way in the journey. So what we did was we built a completely chef-independent model where Indian cuisine can be assembled, right? Which is very, very innovative on its own. If you go to any international brands, they do assembly of this pizza, burgers, and all. But if you go to Indian restaurant, they have a proper chef sitting in the outlet doing the whole cooking part, which is not there happening inside Indian cuisine space. And we innovated that space. We said, okay, boss, unless we eliminate that chef from every outlet, we can never make it scale ready, right? So we first built assembly ready Indian cuisine model where the chef is not sitting in each outlet. That is the first innovation we did. We built a tech platform. If you go to any restaurant, what you'll see is you'll find boards saying that you call this number if the billing is not done. There's lots of pilferage, theft happening at the outlet level, right? So we built a tech platform to take care of these rampant theft issues in the restaurant industry. And then we built a wrapper, a business model of franchising on top of that, so that we can build a brand which can scale very fast. So, and that's the stage we are at now. We are building Petoo as a brand, which is a franchisee-driven model, and the backend is very scalable. So now we are opening across different geographies of India.
You're at the intersection of technology and food, and it seems increasingly like more and more money, more and more attention, and more competition really stepping into the food tech space. So your advice really for companies that are looking at this space or are in this space about how to create that niche for themselves?
See, food tech is a very fancy market, and in fact, 3.5 years, if you ask anyone what you're doing, they'll say they're doing something in food tech startup, right? And that curve has gone very drastically down in the last 3-4 years of time, and food tech is no more a fancy thing. It's a very rigorous industry to be in. So if you are venturing into a food tech, I'll give 2 suggestions. Number 1, come with a mindset that it's not a short-term game. It will take decades to build a brand. It's not something you can build over a year or 2. You need to spend a lot of time, energy, and there are lots of low phases of your time you have to go through, right? So there's number 1 thing, come with a long vision and a mindset that will require decades of your time, energy, and life into it. And the second thing is, if you look at the food tech industry, when people talk about food tech, the general perception is discovery of restaurants, delivery by restaurant. Those are the typical fancy food tech industries. But food tech is much deeper than that. And like 4 years back, when the discovery of restaurant was a problem, the delivery of food was a problem, then those solutions would have made sense. But at this point of time, there are some great companies built on that. The problem is already solved. There's no point venturing into the same field again and again. There are so many things in food tech industry, starting from production, from logistics to warehousing to distribution model. There are so many innovations that can happen. There are so much gaps there. The challenge is people do understand that all these spaces are very messy in nature, very process heavy in nature, and you have to delve into it, create a solution around that. You cannot say that I want to develop a lean model around that. You can be leaner in food tech. You cannot be absolutely lean in food tech. That's an understanding you must have if you are venturing into food tech industry.
So one of the natural consequences, Setu, of more and more companies looking at entering a space, of course, is consolidation. Your advice for companies that are in this space, in the food tech space, given your own experience, of course, about how to possibly differentiate themselves when it comes to this market which is seeing so much attention?
Correct. So for us, when we look at the competition, our perspective is very different. We don't look competition in the term that what they are doing good, let's copy that. That's not our philosophy. From the very beginning, we're very sure, and we had a very niche way of looking at the competition is that you cannot play in your competitor's territory, right? You should have your own territory. So what we did from the very get-go was we carved out our own niche, our own territory in the food tech domain as such, and we built a strong forte in that, right? And this territory is very messy in nature, very operation oriented, very heavy in terms of operations. It's not lean, even if you look at the industry standard definition of lean. So, but we are very strong in it, right? And that has been our strength from the very beginning. And our growth in the last 3.5 years also reflects the same. And if you look at our growth, so when we started, like you said, we were doing dark store models, and we had around 20 odd stores at that point of time. But we had to take a very strong decision that time that, okay, this model is not going to work, and we have to shut down all that stores. It's a very tough decision to take, and sometimes in this industry, you have to take those tough decisions. No matter what competition is doing, you have to have your own mind very clear that what you want to achieve. And that's what we did. We closed on all those 20 odd dark stores, built our own franchising model, built the complete backend from the scratch. And then when we started rolling out these franchisee stores, so like it's just 6 months and we started rolling out franchisee stores of Petoo. And if you look at our growth, it's like phenomenal, right? We have done around 75 franchisee onboarding in 6 months of time. We have 25 stores live. We are present across 5 cities of India. We are present in, say, Lucknow, Kanpur, Banaras, Hyderabad, and Bangalore. We are also coming up in Mangalore, Bhubaneswar, Thrissur, toward that side, even Calcutta. So there are many more cities, Bhubaneswar and all. We are launching 5 more cities in next 1 month of time. So it's like 10 cities, 75 stores in 6 months of time. It's a tremendous growth. And that has been possible because we are very focused on what our territory is and where we want to go, where our strength lies in. So we never competed in the same space of Bangalore, Hyderabad, and the metros of India. We had our own carved out niche territory, and that's where we excelled.
Metro markets like Bengaluru, of course, are very difficult when it comes to the food space. At least that's what a lot of companies that are based there tell us. What has your experience been like? What's your advice for anyone who's looking at that market about what's perhaps helped you?
Yeah, so like I said, Bangalore is very crowded, lots of competition here, and it's very difficult to make a differentiation in this crowded market. But luckily for us, Bangalore has served as a good market for testing different things. So the advantage of Bangalore is that the people from different geographies, different parts of India stay in Bangalore, right? So it's like a platter of different regions sitting in one place. And if you do any kind of testing, let's say we wanted to test how this cuisine will perform in a certain geography of India, we don't have to go physically visit that geography. I can do the testing sitting here in Bangalore because we have the demography available here. So for us, Bangalore is not like a ground where we want to win. It's a ground which is like a testing ground for us, and it gives a lot of strength, because then we don't have to go and visit those geographies physically to test out those markets.
Let's wrap this up by asking you about your future plans. Setu, outside of Bengaluru, what's your plan for the other metros? What are your expansion plans that you can leave us with?
So metros, we'll definitely go to metros. Like we are present in Bangalore, we are present in Hyderabad. We are also looking at Pune as our next growth area in terms of metros. But our prime focus will never be metros. Like this will drive lots of volumes and numbers and all. But for us, the core growth strategy, if you look at the way we believe where the India lies, if you look at the growth of any big brands in recent success story, with Flipkart, Amazon, whatever, they all are driven by non-metros of India, right? This is where the core India lies. So we also believe in that true India story, which is sitting in tier 2, tier 3 cities of India, and that's where we want to grow. So in next 1.5 years of time, that's where we want to focus on. So we'll be expanding to lots of nearby places, like we are moving to Kerala, lots of new outlets are coming up in Kochi, Thrissur and nearby locations. We are moving to Hyderabad, we are opening in Vizag, Visakhapatnam, some other areas nearby. In Maharashtra, we are opening up in Pune. In north side, we are also expanding very fast. We are looking at Jamshedpur, Ranchi as a geography. In Odisha, we are looking at Bhubaneswar, Cuttack as geography. So if you look at our expansion plans, is very non-metro dominated, where we believe the true India can perceive our value, and we can build a bigger value in those things instead of building just valuations. So that's where our focus will be for next at least a couple of years.
Kumar Setu, appreciate your time with us here tonight. Quick break here on Leaders of Tomorrow. Naturals is coming up on the other side. What is this Indian beauty care brand up to? Much more when we come back to. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Naturals is in focus tonight as our second The Influencer conversation. The beauty business and the beauty care industry really in India is booming, starting from a single salon and now across 600 locations in India is Naturals. We spoke with its founder, CK Kumaravel, to really understand how this market is changing and his advice for those watching this interview about how they should stand out in this market. Take a listen. Mr. Kumaravel, thanks for your time with us here tonight on the Leaders of Tomorrow. My first question to you really is about what's happening as far as the online space is concerned. Most people are taking that route, of course, and I notice you have over 600 outlets in India and are planning much more. How are you really planning then on creating a market and an environment for yourself in this space?
Online is still very there are certain categories where online cannot work, and we are very fortunate that you still can't get a haircut online, and we are in such a business. So we feel that online is a great supplementary enhancer for our services, but it cannot give the final service. What I mean by that is you can do a lot of new product research, you can do a lot of counseling, a lot of chatting with the customer, a lot of knowledge sharing can happen through the online. However, you need to come to the salon to take the final service, whether it is a bridal makeup or whether it is a haircut. I cannot be able to provide that service over online. So in that way, I can very candidly say online is good for us, because it is a great enhancer. It does half our work we are able to do in the online, but the next half we will be able to provide that service only when the customer is coming there live, and that is when we can provide the bridal makeup, that is where we can provide the pedicure, that is where we can provide the haircut, that is where we can provide the hair color. and that's how the business goes. So online means thank you very much for us, and we are enjoying the change in perception. We are not afraid of that. We are actually taking advantage of online at this point of time.
You've taken an unconventional route, if I can call it that, of first creating a salon, then expanding it to a chain, and then creating products around it. What's that been like?
It's a very exciting and exhilarating journey. Actually, the journey began in 2000. It is actually my wife Veena's business. Veena's refusal to continue as a housewife was the beginning of the brand Naturals. One of the big advantage of you not knowing the business is you can draw your own rules and you can disrupt the market. And that's exactly what we have done. Had we been a conventional salon people, we would not have disrupted this market. We looked at this opportunity through a completely new window, which is we looked at this business as a franchising business opportunity. We never thought we will come this far. We never wanted to be India's #1 salon chain. We never wanted to open a big franchise network. All we wanted is to get Veena self-employed and 60,000 rupees. Here we are as India's #1 salon chain, 645 salons, 8,500 plus direct jobs, and I feel this is only the game is only starting now. It will become far more interesting as we progress from now, because now we know the rules of the game. We now know what all to do, what not to do.
We talk very often about brand building for any product or business here in India. How easy or difficult has it been to build a brand in the beauty industry here? And maybe you can talk to our viewers about that experience, and also about the fact that most people in India, at least when it comes to beauty products, I would assume, will want to stick with known brands. So what was that like for you?
Brand building is how important is in the beauty industry. When you have a big dream, brand building becomes very important. That is when in the early stage we signed off Deepika Pallikal, who was a squash player, very stylish player at that point of time. We signed her as a brand ambassador way back in 2005, and then little later we signed Janelia as our brand ambassador. She was a customer in our road number 3 in Banjara Hills in Andhra Pradesh, and we went and spoke to her. She agreed to do brand ambassadorship for us, and later on now we have Kareena Kapoor as our brand ambassador. No salon chain can even dream of getting this Bollywood star as a brand ambassador if they have a small dream. Because we have a large dream, a big dream, these kind of brand ambassadors came and played a role. Branding is about perception building, and when we have a good brand ambassador, that helps in perception building a lot more, and that's how we have used in branding, and it has helped us a lot. Anyone having a big dream, get your brand right, and then business will follow. This business, we understood, is a very high loyal business. People not only don't change salon, they also don't change stylists. They call the salon and identify whether that stylist is available. After that only they go to the salon. That's the kind of loyalty which is attached to that business. Coupled with that, it is also a neighborhood business. It's a monthly cyclic business, making it extremely difficult for a trial to happen. That is when we came out with a new idea of giving a free gift voucher. And the competition and the industry thought we will go bankrupt. But I can today candidly say that is the best thing which has happened to Naturals at that point of time. Had I not taken that risk, the people would not have come and tried the product. When people came and looked at the Naturals, wow, ambience is very good, the quality of service is very good, the quality of the product is very good, and pricing is a big surprise. They thought all this put together, pricing is going to be very high. We gave a 5-star quality service at 3-star pricing. That's our slot. And that became a big advantage, and people started patronizing us more and more. They went out and told Naturals is good, and more word of mouth combined with the trial marketing, what we have done at that point of time, has helped us to gain footfall, and that footfall has really converted to business.
All right, let's broad base the interview at this point, Mr. Kumaravel, and I want to talk to you about any advice you may have for entrepreneurs who are looking at the beauty industry in India and wanting to enter this space. What's the 1 or 2 things that you would perhaps want to tell them?
This is a wonderful business to be in. One of the rare business which is a cash and carry business. It is a high loyal business. It is a high margin business. It is a monthly cyclic business and a low competition business. And India is a young country, it is an emerging country, 130 crore people, young country, it's a very aspirational country, and this business is, at this point of time, only 15% is organized, another 85% needs to be organized, plus the growth what can come to this business, all put together, you are supposed to be in one wonderful business, this beauty, salon, grooming, styling, wellness industry. I request all youngsters to come in here and experience. Don't look at it as a taboo business. This business is on a roll. In fact, India is the fastest growing market for this beauty salon business. I speak to a lot of these color companies, the Wellas and the L'Oreals and the Schwarzkopf. They all look at India as a big opportunity. And whatever is their, the highest target, it is easily getting broken the next year. And that's the speed at which the market is opening up. Please join this business. It's a wonderful business to be in. More good people to join. We'll have good competition.
What innovations in the beauty industry can perhaps change the way it's being done right now?
Innovation in technology, I think, as I told in the beginning, it can not fundamentally take a lead role. Technology cannot take a lead role in this business. It will always be human-led. So, you cannot be high-tech, you should be high-touch. It is not a high-touch business, it is not a high-tech business, it's a high-touch business. So your touch feel, your humanness and your people training is far more important. That is why we call our service provider as smile providers. Their job is to put smile in the customer's face. However, technology can play a role in terms of customer relationship management, in terms of digital marketing, in terms of training, in terms of monitoring the services, in terms of mobile cameras and things like that. Those things can really help and supplement, but the main business will continue to be a high-touch business. So focus on customers and focus on the staff who are going to provide the service, which is the smile providers.
All right then. Out of time on this interview, what's next for you? What can you leave us with?
We are already into Naturals Ayur, which is the combination of wellness center, Ayurvedic, and also the salon, which we are taking it to the metros and also to the international market. Second thing what we are doing is now we have got into products. We already introduced nail polish, on cards or lipstick, shampoos. We are getting into skin care, we are getting into body care, and we are also getting into color cosmetics. And the last thing we want to do is the training. Today, training, high quality manpower has become the most important need and also the bottleneck which is stopping this industry to growing further. So we are opening a lot of training centers across the country so that we can get trained manpower, and that manpower can be put into use for expanding our business. As a leader, our role is not only to feed our market, also to the market need, and that's what we are trying to prepare at this point of time. And that's what is in cards at this point of time.
Pleasure having you with us here on the show. Thanks very much. All right, that's our show tonight. If you want to be featured here on the show, like either Naturals or Petoo, here's how you get in touch. Do drop us an email at leadersoftomorrow@timesgroup.com. You can also get in touch with us on social media. Tweet at me personally at Sunanda_J or our official Twitter handle LOT_ET Now. You can also get in touch with us on our Facebook page, Leaders of Tomorrow on ET Now. Thanks very much for watching. Have a good night.